The refracting telescopes are telescopes that use lenses. We've all seen pirates in movies use a little telescope to see what's far away. These are called refracting telescopes, and they use lenses. When white light hits a prism, it bends, and this bending is called the refraction of light. It bends because the speed of light slows down as it enters this medium called glass. And once it bends, red light bends the least. Violet and blue bend the most. This causes the rainbow effect that we see as white light enters and exits a prism. If you look at a prism, it resembles a lens. And in fact, a prism that appears like this will act just like a lens. It brings the light to a place called a focal point. This is where the image is focused. Now a lens that appears just like a prism, it does the same exact thing. It has white light entering it, and then it brings it to a focus point or focal point. The distance between this focal point and the lens itself is called the focal length of the lens. Because lenses act like prisms, they don't bring all the lights to a single focus. Because the blue light is bent the most, it comes to a closer focus to the lens, whereas the red light comes to a little farther focus from the lens. This effect is called a chromatic aberration, and when chromatic aberration happens, your telescope's images look like this. You get a halo of blue on one side and red and orange on the other side. This is a very annoying problem that lenses have. To correct for this problem, we use two lenses. One made of flint glass, which is very hard. One is called crown glass, which is very soft. Together, their properties allow the red light and blue light to focus almost in the same place, almost a perfect focus, although green is going to be a little off in achromatic lenses. So these two lenses together are called an achromatic lens. All lenses that gather light and bring it to focus are called objective lenses. So a refracting telescope that is used for visual observation requires at least two lenses. One is called an objective, and this gathers the light and brings it to a focus. This point is called the focal point. At this end, the observer uses a magnifier to magnify this image at the focal point. This magnifier is called an eyepiece of a telescope. Every telescope needs multiple eyepieces. The difference between an objective lens and an eyepiece is that an objective lens has a much longer focal length than an eyepiece. Eyepiece or magnifier, it brings the light to a focus very close to the lens, though the focal length is very short for an eyepiece, whereas in the objective lens, it's fairly long, much longer than an eyepiece.